Hello and welcome back to Gaia's Vengeful Teeth, a Werewolf the Apocalypse and Forged in the Dark actual play, where we're playing a variant of Werewolf that we made to use Forged in the Dark rules. And welcome Eros Knight for your first chat. Thanks for joining us. And good night, Isabella. We're sorry you're having medication interactions. We understand.
Yeah.
All right. Where we left off, the pack was in this back area full of these massive trucks, of which Magda and Kiel had just managed to flip one and block 8 of the apparent soldiers coming toward them. But there are still 7 coming from the other side. And we were determining what they were going to do next. And another note, Hammond is the pack leader, so most things are going through her through telepathy. So feel free to send her telepathic messages if you have ideas.
Say we
gonna
attack these 7 guys?
Yeah, but before we do that, I want to survey things and see if there's anything we can pick up more so, because that's a lot. There's like 7, and we did not sign up for 7. We're outnumbered.
Yeah, they have fully automatic weapons, and it looks like they're switching firing modes. They're not going to be taking 3-round bursts at you anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, so I was thinking of doing survey and adding a little extra XP to that so I can actually get like 4 dice.
Okay, so what's the intention? To find...
I shouldn't have put something in my mouth as soon as I did that.
Are you like looking for a weakness?
Yeah, I'm looking for a weakness within them where it would be easier to like aim our attacks at.
Okay. I'm just gonna say that based on the fact that they're moving so well, they probably don't have armor on their legs at all.
Oh yeah, you did mention that.
And I would just sort of give that one to you because, if you're
Observant.
Yeah, something you've been seeing is that they don't seem to be having any trouble getting around.
Okay.
No extra weight on their legs.
Then never mind.
So yeah, maybe low attacks or something like that.
I am 100% for going for the legs.
Yeah.
All right.
I was gonna... No, let's do it. But I was gonna offer to use Eye of the Hunter now to determine the weakest of the bunch, if that would be helpful.
Mm-hmm.
To decide which one's legs we take out first.
Well, yeah, you could determine. I mean, since you're the one that would probably be attacking the weakest one, it would give you an extra die. I'll just say, we don't need to roll for that. I think that makes perfect sense that you'd be able to pick them out. You see which one is like you see one of the guys is like straggling toward the back of the pack as they're all running forward. Maybe he has just the littlest bit of a limp that tells you that he's maybe got like a hamstring issue or something, and you're like, ooh, that's my guy. So yeah, you can... does that require you to spend anything? Like a gnosis?
I don't think so. Let me look. Those who read Alan. Eye of the Hunter. The character can quickly determine which member of a given group is the weakest and which is the leader. Gain +1 D2 attacks made against the weakest member. So no, it just
awesome.
said you just get it.
Awesome. Okay. In that case, yeah, you can take +1 die to your action. Anybody else want to add anything to it, or before you guys do the group action?
If I do pack tactics, I can just be like, you get this one, and I'll take these two in the middle. And then we all get an extra die.
Cool. Also, if I do Twilight Song, would I be able to, I let out a good howling, mournful tune before we attack, and it reduces the gauntlet penalty to see or pass through it by 1d for d1 on all rolls.
Yeah, if you are planning on going into the spirit world, that could come in handy. Yeah. Probably not while you're attacking, because you can't attack them from the spirit world.
Dang it! Okay, I didn't know that.
But knowing finding out what's in the spirit world around here would probably be really helpful, because what you're seeing with your naked eyes is not necessarily the only thing that's going on here.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
Definitely something to consider maybe after you take out these combatants.
Perfect.
Yeah. Awesome.
Now, if Magda does that pack tactics where we all each get one, Leon's definitely more again like the persuasive type. I have a persuasion thing, like maybe I could grill one to get information about those 2 rooms or whatever, to find out which one has the leader, whatever we're trying to find.
Yeah. So maybe you want to hang back and not do the attack, or try to capture one. That kind of thing.
If she's going to send, if we're going to break off and everybody's going to take one, then I would go after one, and I would try to, rather than tear him to shreds, it would be more of a information gathering.
Yeah. Well, if you're each taking one, then that does still leave 2 unharmed. So, yeah.
I'm taking 2.
Yeah, I figured that we should probably thin their numbers a bit, and then we could start, grabbing the survivors and asking them questions.
Okay. So, yeah, let's start with the group action, and then, what does that look like, Magda? What's the idea?
Since we have this telepathic bond, Magda just says to everybody, the most strategic way we could go about this is, we split up in this way, and we move at this time, and, in this direction. Maybe we do a zigzag pattern to throw them off, things like that, just to help get us the most effective outcome.
Okay. Well, that gives everybody +1 die on their action, but Magda, you have to spend 1 will.
Okay.
To activate that. All right. So anybody that wants to be involved, what is the role? Are you going to use Savage?
Yeah, Savage.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Let me determine the position and effect first. So there are 7 of them and 5 of you, but you are all in Krynos form at this point. Unless, is anybody not in Krynos?
I'm still in Hispo. I never tried to
go
back.
Go the extra.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that shouldn't affect your ability to use Savage. So, not a problem. Okay. Let's do risky standard.
Okay.
Effect. Once the die rolls come in, they start coming in fast and furious. Spark got a 6. Magda got partial success. Leon got crit.
Ooh.
Kiel made a partial success. And Hammond got a full success. So the final result is a crit. So not only do you get everything you wanted, you get a little bit of a bonus. Leon, you rolled the crit, so I think you should be able to choose the bonus.
The options of. What do I have the options of? What is it?
Anything you want. That so the intention was for you guys to destroy as many of those 7 as possible, and that you are going to be successful at. But you also rolled a critical, so you get to add something that maybe it wasn't what you already intended, but a little something extra. Or in the case of you did have an idea about what you wanted to do next anyway, so maybe you just pull it off as a bonus. It's up to you.
Yeah, I would say that, the majority of them, let's say 6 of them were killed, and then 1 was incapacitated to the point that we can interrogate and get the information that we need.
Awesome. All right, so yeah, you've got them wrapped up in your arms. And you pull them back, and you're now standing behind or between 2 of the trucks, so that you're in a defensible position with the one that's just incapacitated, and everybody else just makes complete and utter mincemeat of the other 6 soldiers. You do, in the chaos, you break open one of the guns, and you notice that inside of the clips, every 3rd round is silver.
Rude. Noted.
You notice that, though, that none of the people from the other side of the building that were coming toward you, none of them have made it over to where you're at. You heard some shouting from over there for a minute, and then the chaos of this melee kind of drowned that out. But now that you're listening again, now that pretty much everybody on this side has stopped breathing, you can hear just very little sound coming from over there.
So,
what did we get from the interrogation? What did we?
Yeah. You have persuasion, right?
Correct. Yeah.
What do you want to use an action? And persuasion will give you increased effect.
Yeah, I want to find out, which room has the leader, the person that we're ultimately going after here.
Mm-hmm. All right.
If you want any other questions, I also have persuasion and can ask another question for you if you want.
Okay.
If I'm allowed to. So I don't. Just let me know if you have another question you want, and I'll ask it. I'm flexible.
Yeah. I would say if Leon is successful with his roll, he's probably going to get literally everything out of him that he possibly could. But yeah, it still could come in handy later, because I think persuasion is a once per mission ability. So yeah, you might want to hold the other one back. So yeah, what action do you want to use, Leon?
Persuasion, probably just to. And if we're going to get that extra question, I would imagine, the quickest and easiest way to get there would be the other thing. But so how many dice do I roll for that then?
Yeah, that's what I meant by action, like command or sway, or on your playbook, you have a list of actions.
It'll be under will.
I have.
Let's see.
I have 2 in command.
Nice.
And 1 in sway.
Yeah, I would say command makes the most sense. You're The leverage that you're holding over him is his life. That's pretty dang good leverage. And then on top of that, you have that persuasion ability, so your voice echoes with an air of like superiority, and you must be your command must be followed. So I'm gonna say you're in a controlled position, and you're gonna have double increased effect. So whatever you want to roll, dice wise.
The command for sure. How many dice can I roll up to?
You just roll that rating, so you can roll 2. If you want to spend a point of will, you can roll 3. It's up to you. Or corruption, yeah.
Okay, I'll spend the will and do 3.
Awesome. Oh my god, that was very close.
So close.
But you had double extreme effect. So I'm gonna say that the 4 knocks that down to just increased effect. So the smell of urine wafts up from his pants, and you know that he knows that you have his life in your hands, and he just starts blabbering. So what do you want to know? And I'll tell you.
Again, which room has the boss, and then the easiest way for us to get there.
Yeah. Okay, so he tells you he like points at one of those concrete rooms, but specifically the one on the left, and says the boss, the guy who brought us in for this mission, is up there in that room. It's practically a bunker. It's more or less explosive proof. He has a helicopter on the roof. But I don't know what we're here to protect. I just know that it was worth at least half of our lives for us to come out here to protect it. Like, he was just lucky he didn't get selected to be in the front room, because they didn't even give those guys silver bullets.
I would let the pack know, and I would suggest that at least 1 or 2 of us go and cut off any sort of escape from that helicopter. Because if that thing's like a bunker and he knows we're coming, then he can just get up there and take off. So if we cut it off at the pass, at least, again, 1 or 2 of us are up there, while the other ones are trying to at least get in, we have a chance of it not, going tits up.
Mm-hmm.
Then, okay, would this be a time to use Prey Mind so I can get into his head and figure out where that exit would be?
Let me see if you can use that on somebody that you can't see, and that you don't have let's see, Prey Mind. Gaia shows you places to run and hide. Okay, yeah. But that would give you extra dice to escape, outdistance your prey, or hide from or evade pursuit.
I think outdistance would be appropriate, because we want to try to get there.
Yeah, so, I'll say, that catwalk that goes across the back wall is probably what leads to the helicopter. So if you block off that, so if you outdistance him by getting to that catwalk before whoever this boss is, that would probably be exceptionally useful.
Okay, I telepathically tell everyone that. Hey, that catwalk, we want to either block that off now or get to that before after we try to get to him. Because he's going to go right over to there.
I would say forget even blocking it off. Let's just destroy
Okay.
Let's destroy
Okay.
it. We go after him.
Bring the house down.
You hear metal scraping against concrete, and the truck that Magda flipped over is now being pushed toward you. You hear
we should throw
you
the
also hear
truck
a
at the
thick
catwalk.
gurgling sound.
Ooh.
Oh.
This?
I would say that I would attempt to go in and push back to stop it from coming any closer if I can.
Is everybody gonna let him go alone, or?
I'd probably go since I threw the truck, because I don't want it to come back.
Okay, so the two of you head toward the flipped over truck. Who wants to go up and see if they can get rid of that catwalk or something? Spark and anyone else?
I'll go with Spark.
Catwalk.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Kiel, do you want to go with either of those two groups, or you want to do something different?
I'll go with the catwalk group. I think large trucks are difficult for me to move. So
I mean, you did pretty good before.
I did, but it was an assist. Magda did all the heavy lifting. I did my best. But yeah, I'll go with the catwalk group and try to help them. And maybe I would help them survey around to make sure we don't get ambushed while we try to blow that up.
Okay.
Since that's kind of my good stats.
Be the lookout. Okay,
Yeah.
that's awesome. All right, so you take the back of that group. Yeah, Spark, you had an idea?
Yeah, I'm wondering, excuse me, if would finesse work for trying to assist someone if like someone has craft?
You don't have to make an action to assist. You just spend a point of will.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Does anybody who's going on the catwalk group have craft?
You thinking about like crafting something to help you, like
Yeah.
pull it down or destroy it?
Yeah. So I was thinking maybe if nobody had craft, then I could use finesse and try to do something swiftly to finesse and throw.
Didn't somebody else say they had razor claws? Or is that just me?
Something similar to razor claws, I think somebody had, yeah.
I have razor claws.
Oh, okay.
You could probably get through some concrete with razor claws.
It's like, is this
Especially
a
big
catwalk,
wolf
or is
razor
it like
claws.
a
Yeah.
catwalk?
Yeah,
Architect speaking, how is this catwalk suspended?
Yeah.
It's suspended by braided metal cabling that comes down from the roof.
Okay.
And yeah, so it kind of has a little bit of a swing to it, but it's also got metal struts that come out from the wall that hold it into place. But yeah, pretty much taking out any of those points would probably have an easier time taking it down.
I'll assist with a will for that one.
Okay, so it is 2 stories up, so I think the first obstacle is going to be getting up to it or figuring out something to toss up there. The only other way up there that is like the proper way up there would be to go up the stairs up to that bunker, through the bunker to the thing. So it'd probably be better just to climb up there.
Would Hair's Leap get me there?
Ooh. Yeah, almost definitely you'd be able to jump high enough to climb up
If
there.
not, I think I can spend a point of something to make my jump height triple rather than double.
Yeah.
So, depending on your decision, I would either spend that point or not.
Yeah. So the 3 of you are working out how you're going to get up there. let's do Leon and Magda's action first. So you're just trying to sort of hold them off, stop them from being able to push it? Is that the idea? Or are you trying to gather some information while you're there?
I mean, if we can figure out what it is if it's an it or if it's, a group of things. But I mean, I would say more than just holding it off, pushing it back as well. Because if I remember correctly, this is like essentially like blocking the hallway.
It's
we want to make sure that it does not get in, so that we can focus on the task at hand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This truck is like 35 feet wide or long, and the way they threw it kind of blocked off that whole back area, as you get closer, you smell this sickly sweet smell. Kind of smells like maybe antifreeze or something, and you hear a heavy sloshing sound coming from the other side of the truck, and you see it's kind of just sliding forward in lurches. It doesn't seem like it's being sort of pushed in an intelligent way. It doesn't look like if they pushed from one side, they'd be able to just make an opening, but the whole truck is being pushed. It doesn't seem intelligent.
In my experience, where it lacks intelligence, it usually makes up for in strength. So, and I ask, so with Frenzy, you say you get to kind of take over and make me do a whole bunch of cool stuff. How do we potentially get there?
So, I think werewolves can basically frenzy on their own. If you think, well, if your character feels like they're maybe not strong enough to do something, then they'll just keep trying until the anger wells up in them and they just get enraged and then they just do it. So one thing you could do is go into a berserk frenzy, which would be I get to take one action as your character. You get to direct that action. Basically, you choose the target of your rage. In this case, it might be the truck. And then afterward, play is returned to you. So,
I want to try to do something like that, and I would imagine just if we're going to get to that frenzied rage point, I'd imagine it's if he's not able to hold it back. Mm-hmm. So I guess the first action would be trying to hold it back and seeing if we're even able to.
Yeah, I think the two of you forcefully are able to stop it from pushing the truck, but that's when you get something sort of slaps against the other side of the truck, and there's a spray of green liquid that flies over the truck, and it like a patch of it lands on your shoulder and just starts eating through your fur on your shoulder. So you both take 1 level of corruption from toxic waste, and you can always choose to you can definitely so if you're missing any rage, you instantly gain a point of rage back from taking damage from toxic chemical.
So I think I was just missing the 1 from that initial stare down, so I'm back up to 6 now.
Awesome. So whenever you take, it's not a maybe. When you take damage from toxic stuff, you immediately have to make a rage roll. So that would be, a corruption roll in this case. So both of you need to roll your corruption dice.
So we roll the 1 or we roll 3?
You roll the thing it says above corruption, so I think that would be 3.
3, yeah, okay.
Yeah. And that'll tell you how severe your frenzy is. Or that'll tell you whether you frenzy or not, sorry. Did the dice bot go down?
Did it?
Yeah, it says it's offline.
Oh, no.
Oh.
One sec.
Gotta love dice bot.
Yeah. It's usually so good. Except when it isn't. Yep, looks like the service is completely down.
No.
Oh no.
You gotta love it when it just goes down right in the middle of your stream. Which has actually rarely happened, but...
I think it's happened once before.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Yet to get all the technical issues.
I'm not getting any response from the dice bot, so... I think...
Grab some of my own and just like point my camera at it or something.
Yeah. Well, we'll lose the ability to see it on stream, but there's a dice roller. What is it called? Roll with friends. Yeah, roll for your.
Oh
party.
yeah.
Dice.
Roll for your party.
I've done that one before. It's good.
All right. Here is the link for everybody. And yeah, both of you can roll 3 dice on there. $3d6, that is. How do you do that? Man, this thing's a little on the confusing side. Oh, there's a submit button.
A 3, and a 4.
Did I roll 3 dice?
It
Oh,
just keeps giving more dice.
what's happening here?
I
don't
have
know.
no idea. Oh my god. So many.
What is happening?
I don't know. I don't know how this thing works.
Can I just roll dice?
You may.
Thanks. Go back to...
Do you have dice as well?
I do. I would just have to go grab them.
Okay.
There's always the Google dice also.
Oh yeah, that's probably faster.
have dice in my hand right now.
My dice are on the shelf. I grab those.
Ah, I lost one.
Oh,
It's a 6. I see it.
Nice.
All right. So what was your roll? Your total or your Magda?
It was 6, 4,
Okay.
and 2.
Okay.
I got 6, 5, and 2.
Nice. You retain control over the beast within,
Woohoo.
and you are both safe from frenzy after taking toxic waste damage. Do you send that information over to the rest of your team?
Yeah.
Or
There's
just
a
let them
toxic
take care of
monster.
themselves?
Oh, great. Spicy.
Yeah, sure.
We're relieved. But also slightly alarmed at the notion of toxic waste.
Yeah.
That's not
No
good
good.
news.
Oh, I have a shield of rage that I don't know if that helps.
That
with...
works against Banes and
Okay.
other spirits.
Okay.
They love our Forg in chat.
Org is great.
How close is the truck to, or one of the trucks, any of the trucks, to the balcony thing? Like, could we jump on the truck and then jump onto the balcony if we needed to?
About 30, 35 feet laterally, and then you would need to go up an additional, 15 feet.
Okay.
So, the
She
hypotenuse
yeeted
of
the truck once. What if we just yeeted the thing into the balcony?
Yeah, if you tilted a truck upright, you could just climb it straight up to the balcony or to the catwalk. That's true.
Yeah, I was thinking about like having us throw the truck at the balcony and just destroy it completely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we can.
Sounds the most fun.
3x sad frog combo.
It definitely does sound the most fun. How many trucks are there in this space exactly?
There are 8, and one of those 8 has been badly damaged. Yeah. The one that's closest to you that would be the easiest to get to is still attached to the ground, so you'd need to break it free from its moorings, but yeah.
Not impossible.
Nope.
I say we do it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Detach it from the ground, throw it at the catwalk.
Is this a pack action?
Yeah.
Yes.
Who else? Everybody involved?
Yeah.
So we've kept the other truck at bay, though, for now, the one that we were holding back.
As soon as you move away from it, it starts moving again.
Then I'm going to at least stay and keep this thing back, again, lest it's something we really don't want to deal with.
And if you frenzy, it's just you alone, so that's a plus.
Yeah.
Exactly. No one will be around to get that collateral damage.
Oh yes, I'm thinking after we've thrown a truck up there, we might put another one against the walls. That one gets slowly eaten away.
Okay. Yeah, let's do the big group action then. What do you guys want to use for that?
I can use Savage.
Yeah, for group actions, everybody makes the same roll, so yeah.
Okay.
Definitely Savage.
Okay.
Yeah, I like Savage.
Yeah, we can do Savage.
All right. I'm gonna say risky standard effect. Normally it would be reduced effect, but because there are 4 of you working together on it, standard effect.
Okay.
Cool. And I'm gonna use the Google Dice thing.
Okay.
I got a 5.
I got a 6.
Nice.
Awesome.
I got a 6.
Nice. And Hammond.
I got a 5.
Okay. So that's not going to cost you any will to lead that action, and the overall result is you got exactly what you wanted. It takes you all a bit of pushing and pulling and attacking those moorings with your talons several times until it finally breaks free and you slide it into place, and then the 4 of you give it the heave-ho, and it comes up and smashes against the catwalk and then comes to rest against the wall. The catwalk's not completely down, but you can climb this truck because the whole back of the truck, the whole top of it, is basically a ladder for you guys. So you heard sloshing coming from inside that truck when you moved it.
Oh, they're in the trucks.
It's definitely full of liquid.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Leon, you are over there trying to stop this truck from being pushed any further. I'm going to do... I wish I had some dice. I guess I'll just... I don't know.
Google Dice.
Google Dice.
Oh, okay. I rolled a 5 and a 6. Alright. So, you feel you're pushing against the truck, and it starts to give way. And you hear this sloshing go away from the truck, and then it comes back and hits the truck like a wave, and then and it pushes against you, but then the wave starts to kind of overtake the truck, and you see what looks like a large, squat humanoid figure standing on top of the truck and looking down at you. If it was just on the ground near you, it's about the same height as a Krynos werewolf, but it's standing on top of about an 8-foot tall truck, so it's kind of towering over you right now, and it looks like it has a little bit of intelligence behind its eyes. You can see bones and flesh poking out of it, but as soon as a bone juts out of it, the acids in the toxic waste just eat it away, and it goes back into its body.
Guess we don't need to worry about those 8 guys.
They've been 8.
Yep.
Now they're 8 guys.
Oh my God.
I would say is like an instinctive action. I'd probably just jump up and try to attack it.
Mm-hmm. All right. What would you like to do?
The problem is I've only got something in melee. Probably don't.
Melee's not a bad idea because that at least shows that you're still trying to defend yourself from getting too much toxic waste on you. Doing a savage against something like that would probably be a good way to get 3 to 5 corruption really, really fast. So.
Okay. Yeah, it'd be probably he'd scale the side of the truck real quick and try to probably take out the legs just to maybe get it to fall backwards off the other side.
Okay. All right. Yeah, this is definitely going to have require you to touch it, though, so you are going to automatically take some corruption, but that sounds awesome. I'm going to say that's Desperate Standard Effect.
So I just roll 1 dice because I have 1 in melee, right?
Yeah, but if you want to spend a point of rage, you can get an extra die. And if you want to spend a second point of rage, you can get an extra die and increased effect.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the 2 points.
Awesome.
I got a 6, a 4, and a 3.
Complete success. Awesome. All right. You can describe what happens then. You got a complete success. You got everything you wanted.
So he scales up the side, kind of claws ripping in through the metal, and when he gets up there, picture he's sort of hanging on the edge. He doesn't actually get up on top, and swipes through the ankles, and obviously some of that toxic gets on him and starts to eat away his hand and his wrist. But the creature, whatever, tumbles backwards and falls off the other side of the truck.
Yeah. Yeah, you hear when it kind of hits the truck, and you hear bones and bones breaking and flesh ripping, and the thing breaks into 2 pieces, and both pieces slide off the side of the truck. Back into the rest of the ooze that's been leaking out of this truck on the other side. And as soon as the 2 chunks hit the ground on the other side, and you're wiping this toxic waste off of your arm, you take 2 corruption from that. But as soon as they hit the ground on the other side, they start to reform and stand back up, but now they're only about human-sized. But there's 2 of them.
Yes, smaller, so therefore more manageable.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, you all see Leon standing atop the toxic waste truck, looking like the victor of the century, except for the 2 patches of burned off fur. He looks pretty proud of himself.
To roll against that new corruption like last time, or is that only doing certain things?
Yeah, good point. Since you took more corruption, yeah, you do need to make a frenzy roll.
So I'm still under 3, so I just roll 3 of them, right?
Yep, 3 dice.
4, 3, 3.
Okay. On a partial success, you barely control the beast within. Your future rolls will be made at -1 die. So instead of 3, from now on you'll be rolling 2, even though your corruption hasn't changed. Basically, the beast is getting closer and closer to the surface. Alright. But yeah, you're still able to hold it together despite the toxic waste attacks. These 2 smaller humanoid things seem to be having a harder time climbing the side of the truck and getting up to where you're at. And they still seem to be doing it in a rather mindless fashion. Alright, the rest of you, what are you doing with now that you've made a walkway that leads up to the catwalk?
Scaling it and razor clawing the supports lead to the ceiling to completely destroy the rest of this thing.
Okay, awesome. I don't think you'll need to make a roll to climb that truck. Is anybody else going up with your leader, Hammond? Spark is going? Okay.
So I had an idea.
Yeah.
I was thinking about trying to go up the stairs so we could kind of do like a pincer move.
Yeah.
They come from one side and I come from the other side.
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan.
You would have to get through that office, but yeah.
Are there people in the office?
It's hard to say. According to the person that Leon convinced to talk, yes, there is at least one person up there. But from what he also said, it's extremely fortified. So you might have a hard time getting through it to get to the other side.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so who's going with Hammond besides Spark, and who's going with Magda?
I'll go with Magda.
Okay. And Leon, do you want to stay there and see what you can do with these toxic waste creatures, or are you less worried about them now?
Oh yeah, no, I'm just going to keep having fun with this.
You might be able to like craft a makeshift weapon out of bits of this broken truck. Like it's got like metal bars that Hammond is using to climb. If you could get one of those free, like rip it free, you could at least have like a melee weapon, an improvised melee weapon, so you don't have to touch them. Just a thought.
It sounds reasonable. Just make sure that it's long enough that I can still not get it splashed on me would be the thing.
Yeah. I don't know if you have any craft, but you can still attempt it regardless.
I do have one craft.
Nice.
Yes.
Awesome.
Would I be able to help before I do the walk with, like...
You guys all have telepathic communication, so, you know, if you hear that that's what Leon's going to do and you decide Hammond can take care of this himself, you know, you can I'm gonna go help because I have a lot in Gnosis, so I have 7 in that. I want to assist you with some craft.
Sounds good. So what I really want to do, right, is find a way to like maybe take a whole bunch of that metal and just attach them to my claws. So I can just have really long metal sticking out of my claws and just, you know, doing a Wolverine style thing, but not quite.
I don't know if you could makeshift something fast enough to do something like that, but you could definitely make a metal club or something along that nature. Think of what you could make out of effectively a metal tubing ladder. That's basically what it is. A ladder made of like inch thick metal tubing. So anything you could make out of that. It's unless you have a magical ability that lets you like reshape materials, like a gift, which there are some. That's why I mention it. But if you don't, then yeah, you'll probably just have to make it something a little simpler.
Probably something similar to, I guess the closest thing I can think is like a bow staff.
Yeah.
Something long enough to keep the toxicity from splashing on me as I, am essentially just mowing it down, or as I try to mow it down, rather.
Yeah.
How much assist can I give him?
So for 1 will, you can assist a teammate.
Okay.
Unless you're making a roll yourself, in which case you would roll craft, and then you can spend Gnosis to increase your craft. So basically,
I'm gonna go do that, actually.
Yeah, you want to make your own.
But I can spend some Gnosis to get some craft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And make your own tool.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. All right. In that case, I'm going to say for you guys that's controlled standard effect. And you can use Gnosis to improve that.
So I have 1 in craft, and then I can use a Gnosis to add another 1 to it.
Yep. And you could add another Gnosis if you wanted to increase the effect from standard to great effect.
I also have a freebie. It's like +1 to a single action rating. Is that coming at all for anything?
You should have spent that on one of your actions. It's a permanent increase to one of your actions.
Okay, I gotcha.
So you should have 8 action dots on your playbook. Spark, it sounds like you made your roll. How'd that go?
2 6s and a 4.
Oh, holy crap!
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I was trying to like sit on that as long as I could.
I thought you rolled a 1.
No.
Okay. So yeah, describe what you make and then what extra you want to add to it.
So what so these are toxic creatures, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. So I think what I want to do is kind of like make a scythe with the metal around and just like have something that I can just swing.
Yeah. So I think, you find what effectively you were trying to make the same as Leon. You're trying to basically find a big staff. But
something that gives me distance enough.
But when you break a part of yours away, a semicircular piece of metal from the other side, the broken side, comes off with the piece of metal, and you're like, holy shit, that's a scythe.
Yes.
It might not stand up to a repeated beating, but it'll at least work for the time being. How about you, Leon?
6 and 5.
Awesome. So you get yourself a nice inch-thick metal bow staff that will definitely serve you well. All right. And because the two of you are standing up on top of this big truck, you guys are at an advantage if you want to attack these creatures. But let's jump back to Hammond, since they are up on the catwalk, and as Kiel and Magda are making their way up to the bunker. So Hammond.
Still going with my plan.
Okay.
Climbing up the makeshift ladder, going to those supports leading to the ceiling, razor clawing them. And
all right. Yeah, so with razor claws, you have to like sharpen your claws on a surface, but that cement wall that you're up against is the perfect surface for it. So yeah, you're back there leaving like half-inch deep gouges in the cement, as you sharpen your claws to a razor edge, and you're just about to go for your first attack, and you hear a yell coming from behind you. Look out! The door to the bunker that leads to your side of the catwalk has opened, and you see a burly man with a huge metal backpack on and some kind of weapon that's looks like a gun, but it's way too long.
Oh no.
Flamethrower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you see him like marching down the catwalk toward you.
Anybody else have Master of Fire?
No.
That's a no.
So
Unfortunately not.
Fire, much like silver and toxic waste, does supernatural damage to werewolves. So, but Magda is a master of fire, so for one, I think Gnosis, she treats fire as normal damage, so she regenerates from it quickly. Oh, Spark, I forgot to mention, but you're definitely fully healed by now. Fire very
Good.
bad. Awesome.
So, can I see that this guy has a flamethrower?
No, but you are able to tell by psychic ability.
Oh, yeah.
But no, he is...
Flamethrower.
He's only about 20 feet away from you, but he is on the opposite side of the bunker from where you are. You and Kiel went up the staircase to the front part of the bunker, and he went out through the back door of the bunker.
Okay.
So, if you climbed through it, or climbed around it, or try to bust through the door...
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. We bust through the door and just get him from behind.
Yeah, you'd have to bust through the door, deal with whatever's in there, potentially, and then bust through the next door, and then chase him down. So, yeah, it might take a while. But you might get to him before he gets to light his flamethrower.
And I quickly stealth in and let Magda know what's in there.
If you guys break down the door, there won't be
There's no stealth.
Yeah, there's no stealthing left. However, if it is a locked door, so you do have an ability.
It's true. I can unlock, and I will try again.
Right.
Lock Whisperer.
Yeah, the Lock
Exactly.
Whisperer.
I'm one with the lock.
It is the same roll as last time.
That was
2 dice, I think.
2 dice. Yeah. Let me clear
Seeing
my
if the
previous.
dice spot came back. It has not. Bastard.
So that's a 4 and a 6 for me.
That is a complete success. So what does that look like when you whisper to the lock?
I whisper it little nothings, and I hum at it in my wolf speech softly until it unlocks for us.
Awesome.
And the path is then revealed.
Well, in
You
that
don't
case,
have to break down doors.
Yeah, in that case, you didn't make really much noise at all. So now sneaking through there might actually be an option.
I'd at least sneak in so that I can warn Magda about what's in there if she has to fight through a bunch of guys or something like that.
Okay.
So,
Let's get back to Hammond real quick. You are ready to make that attack, and this guy is still like 50 feet away from you, so you're not really in any immediate danger if you want to go ahead and try to take down this catwalk.
Did we destroy all the guns when we killed all those guys down on the ground?
No, I'm sure they're still there. Yeah, you can't use them as Krynos, but you could shapeshift and use them.
So I was thinking, it's like that's a bomb strapped to his back if we can shoot at it.
Yeah. So Leon and Spark are the closest to the guns. but even it would take them a few seconds to get down there.
True. Yeah, I'll see if I can take out the catwalk first.
Okay. What do you want to roll for that?
I would definitely say Savage for that one.
Okay, awesome. I agree. With Razor Claws, you get +1 die and increased effect. What is your intention? Like, specifically?
Specifically, it's to take out the steel cabling that's holding it to, like, the ceiling.
Okay.
So that way it can, like, take the whole thing down, because obviously if like, this guy's on the bridge with me, I can maybe make them fall down with the bridge.
Okay, so you want to start, like, a chain reaction so that, so maybe, you put all your weight on it and blast the chain and hope that it'll work its way back to him. Awesome. Yeah, I think that's definitely worth a roll then. Because I was going to say, if you're just trying to destroy it to stop him from getting across, maybe we don't even need to make a roll, because that, with Razor Claws, no problem. But yeah. Okay, I think that's worth a roll then. Say +1 die and controlled position and increased effect.
I rolled 2 and a 5.
Okay. And that was on more than 1 die, I assume?
Yes.
On 2 dice? Okay. Just making sure, because you could roll a 2 and a 5 on 0 dice, too. Awesome. So that's a partial success. So I think the chain reaction happens, but it gets weaker and weaker and weaker as it goes. You have... there is no chance that this flamethrower is going to be able to reach you from the extent of where he could go. So you're completely safe. But it did not have the effect of making him fall 2 stories, sadly.
Okay.
But yeah, awesome. That's a partial success. Kiel, you were heading into the room to scout it out?
Yeah.
Okay. I wouldn't... normally I would say call for a stealth roll, but you are a stealth master, and also there's nobody in the room, so...
oh, well then.
You sneak into the room, and not even the mouse that lives in the room is aware that you have invaded its territory. You see there are several desks around. There's a safe that's actually like embedded in the outer concrete wall of the building. And there is a back door that is still slightly ajar that leads out to where that man left.
Then Kiel would just be like, Magda, kill, go.
All right.
I'm going to have my axe ready and just kind of run through and trying to get out of the bunker to this guy as quickly as possible.
Okay. What do you want to roll for that?
I'm not trying... Hunt?
I mean, you don't need to find him. You know exactly where he is. Are you trying to defend yourself, or are you just trying to get to him so fast that he doesn't have a chance to light his flamethrower?
Yeah, I'm more concerned about him setting my packmates on fire.
Then I would say Savage would probably be the best bet.
Okay, cool. I will roll a Savage.
I'm going to say because he has a flamethrower, this is going to be desperate and...
but I don't care about fire.
I know, but it still counts as desperate for the purposes of you gaining a point of experience. And I'm going to say increased effect because he's just a person and you're a Krynos.
I'm gonna spend a rage and get an extra die.
Okay.
Mouse. Okay. Only have 3 dice, so I'm gonna have to roll.
Oh no, only 3 dice?
I'm gonna have to roll one of them twice, because now I have 4. Okay. Okay, I have 2 5s.
Okay. Partial success. So I think what that means is that he got the flamethrower lit.
Okay.
And as you are on top of him, he ignites it, and you are blasted with flame. But you are immediately on top of him and causing him grievous injury. So, first off, do you want to spend the point of, I think it's Gnosis, to activate Master of Fire? Or is it just a permanent thing?
I think it's a Gnosis, but I'm not sure.
Master of Fire. Spend 1 Gnosis. For the remainder of the mission, you may heal fire damage with standard regeneration.
That's good, because I only have 1 Gnosis.
Good. You could spend
Corruption,
corruption.
yeah. I forgot about that.
But all right. The reason why you don't necessarily want to get to 0 of Gnosis is that you will, if you were to trauma out, you would lose the spirit, meaning that you could.
Let me spend a corruption instead, then.
You can't travel to the Umbra once you've lost the spirit.
Yeah.
And if you run out of rage, then you have lost the wolf.
And that's
you
no
can't
good.
shapeshift. So.
Yeah.
All right. All right. What are you doing to him? Because you got him.
I want to hit him with my axe. In the face.
But what's the intent?
To murder him.
Okay. In that case, you murder him successfully. You take 3 wounds from fire.
Okay.
But quickly, it just doesn't seem to be able to penetrate your fur. It just burns off kind of the top layer, and then your body just fights off the rest of the fire.
Okay.
So you watch Magda step out of this fireball, just like, what? And she just cranes her axe out of this guy's skull. And, yeah.
I'm smoking.
Smoking hot. Awesome. Alright. So I have an idea. This is, you guys are about halfway through all the stuff that's going on here.
Oh my god.
So I was wondering if, since we don't have a game set up for next week, if we talk offline and try to determine if we could make something work for another time. Because I really think that there's a whole lot more fun stuff to come. But we are getting close to we've hit the 10 o'clock hour. We usually don't like to run too long, so I think this might be a good place to leave off. You have killed the boss. He wasn't the boss of the dungeon, but yeah, he was definitely the boss. He was the head of the security contingent. So
a mini boss.
Yeah, a mini boss, exactly. So we'll save the real boss for next time. So before we sign off, let's have everybody tell our audience where they can find you online if you want to be found online. You don't have to want to be found online. And any kind of parting message, if you have any projects that you want to plug or anything like that, you can do that as well. So let's start with Jay.
I have nothing. I am a very boring person.
You were not boring this session.
Not boring.
All right. You do not want people stalking you online. That is completely.
I mean, if you're really interested, there's a Facebook, but I mean, it's mostly just Dragon Ball memes. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I love Dragon's Balls. I understand. All right. Sunshine?
I specifically am not the interesting person. My other half is much more interesting than I am. They're Supersonic Blur, and they stream on Twitch on Saturdays and Tuesdays, and like 2:30 Eastern time.
Oh, cool.
So if you want to like talk to me more, I'll probably be moderating their channel when they're streaming.
Yeah, I agree with Rebecca J. You're not boring. Neither of you are.
No one here has been.
What kind of streaming does your partner do?
So they're mainly a video game streamer.
Nice.
So right now they're playing the Ace Attorney series.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
I've always wanted to get into those, but yeah, never had the chance. That'd be cool. I might check that out. Mia?
I can be found at Robot Rainbows on almost all platforms: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. I mostly post art on Twitter, however, like it's the most updated out of all my social media. My commissions are open, so feel free to drop me an inbox message. And I want to thank my friends for showing up to the stream, because I've all seen them in chat, and I'm just really happy to have them around.
Oh,
and thank you so much for the game. It's been a blast.
You're welcome. All right. Andrea?
I'm Andrea. You can find me on Twitter at Andrea Timor 42. Is it 42?
Yeah.
Is that where the 42 is? Yeah. You can find me on Instagram at Menagerie Nest. Yeah, and here on Tuesdays and on Friday I play video games, and I'm hoping, since we got a new computer set up, I can start playing some stream games, and I want to play the Mortuary Assistant game hopefully this Friday.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah, we've been trying to get it going for a couple weeks, but now that we have this whole setup and it's in like its own room, it's nice and quiet. We've got reptiles on the other side, but they're quiet. Yeah, so we'll look forward to that. And Elliot.
Hi everyone, I'm Elliot. You can find me on the internet at ChaosFem on all the socials. The one I'm on the most is definitely Twitter. If you want to know where I am with games that I am in, because this kind of thing is normal to me, Where is Chaos on Twitter is also where the more succinct updates are of when people tweet things out. That's exactly where it is. It's for me personally to find out and remember where I was, but also for you as well. So where I will also be this week has been... I have 2 more streams. Yesterday I was on Weave the Tale, and I was playing Wicked Ones, which is a bunch of fun. Their Kickstarter's still going, so if you go to Kickstarter and search in Wicked Ones, it was a lot of fun. You build a dungeon together as a group, and you're the bad guys, and you're trying to send these adventurers through and try to like trap them and TKO them. Mm-hmm. It's great. So if check out Weave the Tale on Twitch for that VOD. It's excellent. As far as this week, I will be on a charity stream for Lawful Good Media playing 10 Candles. And if it isn't that, it is Scion, which I play there every other week. We haven't been playing for about a month because life happens, but I can't wait to play with that Chaos crew. It's amazing. Last game, I turned everyone into cats with my power. It was amazing. And then on every Sunday, I am on the Bard's Playhouse playing Pathfinder 2E, and currently we are playing the Ruby Phoenix module, while our one group member from our main group is settling into her new house. So we've been playing that for the past month or so. It's been amazing. So, yeah, that's where I will be every Sunday, and every other Friday until who knows when on Lawful Good Media. So I got a lot.
Yeah. Awesome. I'm Gavin the GM. I'm at Gavin the GM on Twitter. Our game publishing company is called Balsamic Games. You can find us on Twitter as well, and that's Andrea and myself. We wrote Children of Midnight Coven, which is our other Forged in the Dark game. I also wrote this one, but it's still in the playtesting phase, as you can probably tell. But we love all tabletop games. We have a Patreon, of which is the reason that all of these lovely people have joined us here today. They are all our Patreon supporters, or they are a subset of our Patreon supporters that could make it to a Tuesday stream. And if you want to join us, we're on our Discord link is there in the stream chat. And yeah, we have a crap ton of fun every single day. And joining our Patreon or our Discord, you get to see all kinds of games that we're trying to create. They're pretty much flying out of my head left and right. So, but yeah, quickstart.childrenofmidnight.com for the recent Children of Midnight Quick Start Guide. It's 40 pages, has some awesome art featuring Morningstar and several other models. Night Sky Sanctum, our main Let's Play, actual play, will return on the 13th of next month. At which time we will have Navi and we will have a couple of Drakes as their Twitter name. They are also game designers that have done a lot of Forged in the Dark games. I think it's Navi and Chris. But anyway, they will be in that middle spot that Mia's in. And they will be joining us for our first session back of Night Sky Sanctum. And then, like I said, we'll probably play about a month of Night Sky Sanctum, and then we're going to be playing
a spooky game.
A spooky game, yeah. We're gonna. There's a Kickstarter going on right now, in addition to Wicked Ones, which we did back for the dice, because it's got some awesome Forged in the Dark dice.
It does.
And two sets, and we chose one. But the other one that's in its final, I think, 2 days is an Over the Garden Wall style tabletop game. And we will be possibly the first actual players to play that game on a stream with its creator, Graham. So we're
the name of the game.
Yeah, the name of the game is Something the Autumn Strangely.
Over the Autumn Strangely.
I think it's Under the Autumn Strangely, because it's
it?
over the garden wall.
Over the garden wall. It's the opposite.
Yeah. Under the Autumn Strangely. But yeah, check out that Kickstarter. It's really inexpensive, and it's a really, really neat sounding narrative game. So, and you can see us play it here in just a month or so. Anyhow, it has been absolutely lovely. We will see if we can work out another session of this.
Please.
And if we can't, I will definitely tell you all about all the fun story stuff that we had planned. Sorry that it ran a little longer than expected, but thank you so much.
It's worth it
for joining us. I had an incredibly fun time, and we will see all of you next week or sooner. Have a good day.
Bye. Thank you.